Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me go from zero to hero on a feral druid in the War Within Season 2. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and it is time to check out the vault, so let's give that a quick look-see. Let's see if we get sad or smash our little crow head or raven head into the wall, I guess, and that's what we're going to do, or the door frame, I don't know. We're going to generate some loot for feral, and hopefully we get something good. Let's see here. Alright, starting off with the raid, we have, what is this? I don't care about this trinket at all. I'm not going to get that. The trinkets I have are decently good. I'm not going to take a 1 out of 8 champion trinket. The wrists are worse than what I have. The ring has a lot of crit, which I think would actually be pretty nice, but it's only champion. So let's think about this ring later. Let's see what we have here. We have a Grim Codex, which is just an unused trinket, which, I don't think that's that great. It's hero 4 out of 6, which isn't bad, of course. It would be nice to just get the item level increase, but I don't think it's worth getting because I'd need a second trinket at that item level to be able to upgrade my current trinkets to that item level. Then we have some hero pantaloons with haste mastery, high mastery, which I would have to tierify. I do have a tier charge from hitting 2k last night on the stream. A hero charge? What? A catalyst charge. Did I say hero charge? Man, I need to pay attention to what I'm actually blurting out of my face. So these don't look so bad to me right now. We'll come back to them in a second. What we got here? We've got a high mastery, low versatility ring. Not a huge fan of that. I'd rather keep my my hero 1 out of 6 ring that has crit and mastery and avoidance, and I've enchanted and put gems into, so that's like multiple thousands of gold in it. I don't really want to switch to a different hero ring for that with worse stats. Haste, verse, and avoidance on the chest piece, which I would have to tierify into high crit, low mastery, which works out quite well for our current stat distribution. I like that. That's another option for us. We're going to look at that. That and these, I think, is pretty good. We got these grips that are already hero, but they give haste verse. It's the worst slot that you can get for your tier set because you get neither crit nor mastery. So that's not really much of an option. And we have this as well, but that is a champion piece while I already have a no wait, that's a hero piece that I could replace a champion piece with without having to actually spend a charge of the catalyst, now that I'm looking at it. So this might be an option because of the leech. What does this have? This has avoidance, and if we purify, it's also 1 out of 6, so it's not that big of a deal. This, if I grab, I get slightly worse stats, but I get 3 out of 6 hero, and that would be like a little bit, actually no, that's lower item level than what I already have. So this would be also a lower item level than I already have. This would be, yeah, there's really nothing I can save item levels on. So I'm just looking to get what gives me the best stats, this or the highest potential upside, or maybe just go for a socket. But honestly, I should probably upgrade some of these non-hero pieces into hero pieces. I think leech is nice. I think avoidance is better, but for the avoidance one, I would have to grab the catalyst charge and spend it. So it comes down to either this helmet with leech or this chest with avoidance. The reason I'm getting those, even though they're lower item level than what I currently have equipped, is because nothing else would be a better option. So my thought process is, let's grab this thing with avoidance and then tierify it because avoidance is a good stat. We want to get some of that, and we have good stats on the chest piece, and this gives us a higher potential upside. We can upgrade it pretty much freely up to the same item level that this is at. It will cost me some flight stones that I have a decent chunk of, and I will get more of in today's gaming session. So we're going to go for the chest piece, and we're going to go tierify it. The reason I can tierify it is, but I think we also get a charge of the catalyst this week either way. And with the one I got from last night's 2K, speaking of which, there you go, 2023. I'm 2 years behind, but but the rating's there, and that's what we did to get it. Hold on now. We're going to put this chest piece in here, make sure that we tierify the right one. There it is with avoidance. Beautiful. And ka-ching. There we go. Now, before I forget, I'm going to go buy the Crystalline Radiance enchant because your boy will forget. Chris Rudd. Who's Chris Rudd? Is that Chris Pratt's weird brother? No, it's Crystalline Radiance, 3-star. Way too expensive for an enchant. 4,000 gold for a chest enchant? Kinda crazy. Almost 4,000 gold. But yes, we're gonna slap that on, and then we're immediately going to transmogrify this. Hold on now. There we go. Looking good, looking goth. All right. Now that that is settled, oh, hold on, it's not settled yet. I have to upgrade this so that I'm not actually at a lower item level that I was. There we go. We're as upgraded as we can be right now. I'm currently, I'm trying to save up some of these gilded crests. I haven't done many 7s, as you can see. I think I've done the 3 7s I've done to hit Hold on. There we go. That's what I wanted to open up. I just like spam open. Anyway, the 3 7s that I did, that's all the 7s I did. I didn't do any other ones. So I'm not exactly swimming in gilded crests, but by the time this episode ends, hopefully I will have enough to craft myself something. And I think what I would craft would be probably the waistband, probably get a better waistband. Although I could craft a new item that's going to be, turn into a Minecraft villager there for a second. I'm thinking about potentially crafting, I don't know, maybe like a cloak or something, or boots, because these are already 645. Should I focus on recrafting rather than crafting something new, because all my other pieces are higher than 645? I think that might actually be the case. Yeah, I think I'm just going to recraft this belt, because it is my weakest link right now. It's the lowest item level piece I have. Yeah. So when I have enough gilded crests, I'm going to recraft this belt. Then I'm going to farm more gilded crests and probably craft myself some new boots. Or maybe some other slot, I don't know. But that is enough brainstorming for now. That is enough brainstorming. My brain already hurts. The 2 brain cells, they're rubbing together really, really hard, and my head's getting hot, starting to sweat. And that's not a pretty sight or a good feeling for anyone. Let's vendor this old chest. Let's vendor this downy clump that I got from killing a bird that was too close to the spot where I was recording. And let us see what key we have. We have a 7 Rookery. That should be an easy enough thing to push up. And our goal is to get a +10 done today. So I'm going to show highlights of the keys I do up to +10. And then I'm going to show the fully commentated +10 we attempt for today's video. My apologies for the long yappage. It was just, I wanted to chit chat a bit about what thing I'm grabbing. Oh, there's people. That was quick. And here we go with the +7 Rookery. The group is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what these people are looking for in a +7, but maybe it's the easy crests. I don't know. Mage AFK. Really? Hopefully they come back. Otherwise I have a +6 key on my hands, and I don't like having +6 key on my hands when I started with a +7 key. I didn't even notice that the mage went AFK back there. I'm also a little surprised we're not putting the Void Rider into this pool. I'm gonna go ahead and soothe the Storm Rook again. Well, we're coming up on the first boss. Mage is still AFK. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Well, that was great. I get to brick a key from a 7 to a 6 because I have a mage that goes AFK for literally 5 minutes. They have the AFK thing on them. So they've been AFK for 5 minutes or longer, which is insane to me. I'm going to peace out. I don't know, man. That's so stupid, but I got to push up the 6 key now all the way to a 10. So maybe we can 2-star a 6 and then go into an 8 and then do that 8 and maybe get a 10 out of it if we get lucky. We'll see how it goes. But that was incredibly infuriating because that looked fairly timeable up until the point where the mage was like, nah, I'm just going to go AFK now. So that's great. But yes, let's get back to actually gaming. Didn't realize I wasn't recording, but the mage applied to my key for the +6 after AFKing in my +7. They wanted to come into the +6. Maybe do the same thing. Who knows? What the hell, man? Absolutely bonkers insane. That is infuriating. What the f, man? All right, let's go again. Again, a bunch of blasters. I don't know what the tank and shaman are doing in here and looking for a +6 for, but yeah, there were mostly 660 people applying, so I just took the geared people. I wanted a bloodlust, so I took the shaman. All right, there's potential for a 3-star here. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna go start positioning myself over to that side of the boss so that I can take care of that side. We need to start pulling. We pull. There we go. Orbs are spawning on me. I'm going to take care of all the orbs right now. There we go. I will move over to the rock as soon as I can. It is in range for me to keep meleeing the boss. Fortunately, our healer seems to have fallen off the map. I will take care of this as soon as I can. Not if I fall off too. I guess we're resetting because we all dipped down into the water. I don't know what it is, but stepping on this in cat form is a death sentence. I've seen it happen multiple times where you just fall over. All right, well, it's not going to be a 3-star. I'll take a 2-star though. I'll take 18 crests though. I'll take 18 crests considering that I still need these ruined crests. Well, let us move on to a, what is this? 8 Motherlode. Motherlode is haunting me, man. Motherlode is haunting me. And here we go with a +8 Motherlode, the group you can see in the bottom right corner of the screen right now. We're gonna stealth here, and looks like we're doing the whole W approach of just pulling whatever's first here. Kick is not available. I can send the next kick on the guy that's gonna start casting sooner. I'm gonna put a yoink back down on the jockey. Jockey gets yoinked back. Want to kick that. I need range DPS. Okay. I saw the judgment fly out and just hit everything over there. Unfortunate. Paladin also blasts all the enemies, immediately rips aggro. not the cleanest we've ever done, but we didn't have much of an option. We managed to get our kick through on that CC, or on that beam thing that the vendors do. Our tank's having to kite a little bit here to not get taken out. That's okay though. Kick does go through. Swirlies are pretty dangerous right now. Trying to avoid pulling this group. Our paladin might do that anyway. Tank just went down. Oh, we just lusted after the tank died, so that was the best lust we could have done. We're still in combat. I'm just gonna ping danger here. Danger, danger. We need to stop pulling.
Your survival wasn't necessary.
Tank, you need to take aggro. Take aggro. Instead of walking backwards, try to take aggro. Yeah, people are already leaving. Well, I got a 7 key now. What the fuck, man? What is it with Motherlode, man? Floodgate and Motherlode are two spots where you just have a miserable time. Okay, well, there's some flame going out. We're gonna leave. We're gonna run a 7 Motherlode instead. Apparently, it's brick one, win one. That's the tactic today. I don't know what happened there. The tank did kind of just flop over every pull. They were doing kind of low DPS and losing aggro, and the positioning around the tear gas was a little bit irritating for melee. I could never figure out where to go. So yeah, the Peacekeeper, the patrols probably shouldn't have been pulled. I think there's better routing options than that, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Let's host a 7 Motherlode. Yay! There's no chance for, well, I shouldn't say no chance, but it's unlikely that we will 3-star a 7 Motherlode, so we will see how that ends up turning out for us. We're probably going to have to run a 9 after we run the 7 if we want to run our first 10. Or maybe, just maybe, I run some 9s or some shit. What are these item levels? People are decked the hell out doing 7s. Are they doing it for the gilded crests? I'm assuming that's why. What the heck? Alright, let's try this again. Group is in the bottom right corner of the screen. This time we are obviously doing a 7, not an 8 Motherlode. 8 minutes remaining. I find that unlikely to kill 2 bosses in 8 minutes. But we can get a 2-star, and a 2-star would be nice because then I can get a 9, and then I just have to 1-star the 9. But with my current track record, I'll brick the 9 into an 8, and then I'll 2-star the 8. That's just how things are going today. We host a key, brick a key, and we roar here, take care of all the orbs. But yes, we host a key, brick a key, then 2-star the lower key, and then, you know, get some brutal slashes out. And during Tiger's Fury, we can refresh our rake with a higher damage one. Beautiful, because we didn't get a stealth rake at the start, so we can reapply now that we have the sudden ambush proc, which gives us stealth. Again, snapshotting a little bit when I can is a nice thing I can do sometimes, maybe. Sudden ambush refresh on that rake, and let's use Tiger's Fury on cooldown to try to sync it up with the rest of our cooldowns. Let me get that CR out, move out of it. There we go. Missile on me. We're going to roar as many of these as we can, make it easier for others to deal with. We're going to go bear form and walk into the missile now that it's out of range of everyone. Reapply the buff, and then let's get back to actually DPSing. We have all of our cooldowns available. I want to get this Ravage out before anything else happens. And now we could Convoke to finish off the boss here. Not my best performance here. I stood in a bunch of shit. Not very, very happy about that. But I think we get the job done anyway. Razdunk is dead. We spam bites into it because there's no point in bleeding a target that dies in 2 seconds. Very nice. That was a 2-star, a convincing 2-star. And what do we get? We get a offhand veteran shield. What? I mean, I'll take it. We'll put it in the Warband bank, and at some point I'll just be able to gear like 3 characters with all that shit I have in the bank. Thank you for the run. The 2-star brings us up to +9. Of course it's a workshop. Let's go do a 9 workshop, polish that off, and maybe get into a 10. I swear, if I brick the 9, I am clickbaiting the shit out of that. Brick 1, win 1. Or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so there's this thing where people don't like to apply to +9 keys. So we're gonna go in. We're actually, let's delist it completely. We're gonna delist it. We're gonna start a group. We're gonna lie. We're gonna set it to 8, and then we're gonna use our 9 key because we're diabolical like that. But basically, there's very little difference between an 8 and a 9 key, but people, for some reason, prefer to do 8 keys because it's just like, that's where they get the next level of gear, next item level of gear to drop from the end of the dungeon while getting more crests, so they want to do that instead of the 9, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, we're going to do our +8 key, or rather our +8 key, if you catch my meaning. I even did like the little quotation marks, air quotes with my fingers or whatever. But anyway, hopefully we get some victims, I mean teammates here to show up in sometime soon, and hopefully none of them go AFK or just drool onto the keyboard or whatever else it is that they want to do to break my key. Okay, we got a 3 stack after waiting in queue for 22 minutes or so. Also, if there's noise with the microphone, I'm sorry. I just like sat up in my chair after seeing this massive 3 stack. 666, tanky boy, 0 item level healer, but I think they're also 660 something. And the crazy item levels. All right, and suddenly everybody wants to join the group, huh? Whatever, let's take the Shadow Priest. He probably doesn't get invited to anything being a Shadow Priest. All right, finally. Okay, let's do this. It's a 9 key. I don't care. I listed it as an 8. It took me forever to form this group. There were many attempts. So around 11:19, I started hosting it, and 11:47 is when it actually started, which in my opinion is absolutely insane. Hopefully I get a 10 key out of this. 10 key is pretty popular. Hopefully people actually want to join at a 10. If I brick this 9 with this group, I'm just done, man. I'm just done for the day. I'm gonna make a video out of whatever footage I can scrounge together and just leave it at that. And here we go with a +9 workshop. Let's get this thing done. I really want to do a 10 key. I really want to do the 10 key, even if it means having to do a lot more time editing or having to do a lot more runs in a single day than I'm used to. I'm gonna try and apply our bleeds to just about everything here, and then let's send our cooldowns. We're gonna kick this. Got another pull going on here. That is a big knockback on everything. Not sure if I like that. I'm scared to send Convoke here. We're gonna roar. Okay, roar doesn't do anything. Kicks are also not.
Survival wasn't necessary.
Kick or die. We have to kick. We have one stun, which is the shaman. You can only stun the bombs. There's like roar doesn't do shit. You have to actually kick. You have to press the kick button. Okay, let's give that another shot. Not the greatest start in the world, but there's nothing to kick here now, so we should be okay, right? I didn't send my cooldown, so that kind of works out for me. Send the Ravage and then send my Convoke into this. That should be okay. We're just kind of dragging everything. My guy is pre-made with the Elemental Shaman, and he's still dragging everything around out of his Earthquakes. Love to see it. 3 more Bomb Tonks to apply our bleeds. Keep applying bleeds for combo points. Keep applying bleeds for combo points. Kicking 1. I'm gonna send big defensives here. Don't trust shit about with this group. Okay, CC is going out. Knockups also seem to work. I'm getting bounced around by these blades, but I have my defensives rolling. I think my defensives just ran out. We're gonna use a self-heal here. Keep applying bleeds. Jesus Christ. I think I see why this decked out group is doing 8s. It's because they kind of YOLO it a bit too much for the hierarchies. But it is a 9. I say they do 8s, but they applied to an 8 because they didn't know it was a 9 because I was sneaky about it. I'm going to send my cooldown here. The Tiger's Fury, it doesn't matter because we're about to head over to the other thing here in a second anyway. Well then, let's give some movement speed to my friends and let's try a little bit of a trick here. So I don't have to jump. I can just walk over here and then we hoppity hop up our way right here. There we go. And then like this, and there you go. And then you drop down. Yeah, and you waste a bunch of time. That's exactly how you do that. Perfect. Wonderful. We're gonna give that another shot just because I really, like, I'm stubborn about it now and I really want to do it. As we can see, Shadow Priest is over here. We're gonna be there at about the same time as the Shadow Priest, it looks like. He's just looking at me doing some crazy shit and he's like, is that really worth it, my guy? Because I just got here as a slow ass Shadow Priest. It is worth it, my friend. See, I'm faster than you. That is embarrassing. If I hadn't dropped down, I would have been there pretty quickly, but I did drop down because your boy kind of stupid sometimes. We're just about ready to finish off this boss. We get a Chomp in, we get a Feral Frenzy in, we get a Ravage in, we get some Bite procs, and it's beautiful. We managed to finish off the DPS with finish off the boss with 1,000,000 DPS. Still have a chance to get a bit more padding done here. Let's wait for a max combo point, full energy, Bite, and there we go. We timed it with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Could have been a little bit better. Oh, I got another golden Snorf. Now I can send this to Kalibara. Let's send it to Kalibara. Hold on. I gotta make sure. Pet journal, Snorf. Let's look for Snorf. There we go. Oh, I have one named Kalibara, actually. This is the one I just got. We're gonna go ahead and put it in a cage, and then we're gonna send it to Kalibara as soon as we get out of here. Thank you for the run, and I'm going to Hearthstone out. Okay, not too shabby. I feel like we did okay in this run. The Shaman is 665, so it was a bit difficult to keep up with them. I also did eat shit a bit too much for myself to be able to keep up with them. But now we have a +10 key. Send mail to Kalibara. I don't know if he's on the same realm as I am. I never actually checked. He is. There you go. Calibara gets a golden snorf. Didn't even type a message or anything. I just sent it. I wonder if he's going to know that it's from me. Whatever. What key did we get? We got a Operation Floodgate. Dude, you've got to be shitting me. I just did a full video of Operation Floodgate right before this. Man, give me a break. Well, you guys won't mind, right? Because there's only so many keys I can get, but apparently I just keep getting the same goddamn keys. We're going to start a +10 key, and we're going to invite whoever's willing to join, honestly. I don't think I get to be particularly picky, because, honestly, I just want to get these keys done. And we have a tank coming in here, Featherbear. Featherbear has timed a 10 Priory, so I'm looking forward to their tanking. With this being a Floodgate, luckily, even if it's unlucky that we got another one after the last video had a Floodgate, but luckily a lot of geared people are applying, so this should be pretty easy. Okay, we're pulling a Shredation into this one's new. I gotta admit, this one's pretty new to me, but every time I run this place I get another route that's kind of insane. So okay, hold on, let me reapply my bleeds to all of these things now. Get this thing out, get another bite out, and let's just send the Convoke. Screw it, man. I need to send cooldowns on cooldown. I'm getting spun on. We're gonna try and get away from that. Getting Shredated on. Bit of a cluster down here. Don't know where to stand. Things are not stacked. We're randomly adding mobs to the pull. Love to see it. I don't know what it is about this dungeon, but you just have the most cursed routes ever. I don't know, man. This could be a lot smoother, but whatever. We're just going to focus on how much damage we can do, because that's just about the only thing I can contribute. I can't control the route. What I can't control is my damage. I can maybe potentially do a bit more damage if I just focus up. Now we're bloodlusting. People are dying. Okay, I want to go. Okay, I got to lay on hands. Now I'm stepping back into the flamethrower. We get the 10 stack buff from that. That's something at least. This is such a cluster. I'm so sorry. This is such a cluster. At least the kicks are coming out on those guys. We chained a Shredation into a Shredation, and the flamethrower is going out. I don't know where to stand. I don't know where it's safe to be. This is such a cluster. But we're getting some damage out. Beating a red pallet, and I'm fairly happy about that. I'm gonna tell you that right now, considering that I have to spend half my combo points just reapplying my stupid bleeds because we keep adding random trash into the pull over and over again. But we have a clear path to victory now. When we have to respawn at the start, there's nothing we can accidentally pull because we pulled everything into it. Let's reapply our buff that we ignored for the most part while we were fighting because I didn't want to spend a global on it. I'm going to stealth my way down here and wait for the bear to why are we going that way? What the heck? You can just go. Okay, whatever, man, whatever. It's cool. This is fine. It's fine. 3 mob pull, absolutely massive. Some hyenas joining in. Is this it? Is this the whole pull, or are we going to chain some more? I'm going to wait for this kick, and then I'm assuming we're going to chain some more into the architect. Okay, perfect. Nice. Beautiful. No, we're just randomly stutter stepping. You're just randomly stutter stepping. Luckily, our shaman is enhancement and not elemental, so we don't have to worry about the earthquakes not getting their value. But let's get these bleeds up. We're gonna jump over here and roar all of these, even though I got rooted. There we go. Beautiful. Just keep slowly adding mobs. God forbid we send our cooldowns into one big pack instead of, you know, piecemealing it between a bunch of them. I'm sorry. I'm so salty about these routes, but they're so stupidly bad. I'm sorry. If this offends you and if you say this route is good, I'm sorry, but you need a reality check. These pulls suck. I know a lot of people got upset with me when I kept calling out a tank for, you know, doing a bad route or whatever, but like if they suck, they suck. It's not my fault. I gotta shapeshift out of that route so I don't get killed by the loader bots, which I was taking a ridiculous amount of damage from. But yeah, if you put your pulls together like this, you're doing it wrong. I don't care what anyone says. If you don't know how to survive, you should do lower keys until you figure it out. Doing a 10 like this just feels miserable. I get 6s where people are still kind of, I guess, learning or whatever, but doing it like this just feels stupid. I'm going to pull those guys as well for the tank because he seems to be wanting to do that. I'm going to try and get some more rakes in, and let's send some cooldowns here. Oh my god, I'm going to maybe die to the RPGs again. That didn't happen. We're good. Gonna drop a yoink back down on this. We're gonna roar here to prevent that reload from going through, and now let's try and get some more bleeds out again. Yoink back is down, reload goes through. I don't care, it's not my job to CC absolutely everything. We did manage to get all of the orbs taken care of, so that's something at least. We're gonna reapply bleeds as we walk away and maybe get some chomps down. Precarious position because of the demolitionist putting down the swirlies, so we were having some trouble there, but other than that, we seem to have managed to do this. Again, sorry about the salty commentary, but I've had a morning, let's put it that way. I started gaming at like 9:30, it's 12:30, and I'm now finally doing my first 10, which I was hoping to do much sooner than this, but here we are. Sending in Feral Frenzy, our tank dies to the Tank Buster. We are trying to CR him, I die as well, reset. I guess we're formatting this, distortion going out, or Paladin kicks it. I get to commentate this pull, I guess. Oh man, our tank went down, I think, due to the fact that he, whatchamacallit, he didn't use a defensive and got like auto attack to low HP, and then the Tank Buster just took him out. This first boss Tank Buster is actually a pretty tough one. Like, it does quite a bit of damage, and tanks need to be careful. There's a kick that needs to go out on the Mecha Drone. Mecha Drone's not being kicked. 3 kicks available. 1 finally lands, and that is another Tank Buster that takes out our tank. And now we get to reset and potentially brick this key. If this goes down to a 9, I'm just calling it, man. I can't handle it. All right, let's release and see how this goes. Does anyone rage quit? Nobody knows. Those guys have to go around this way. I can just stealth my way past all of these down here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Jump and stealth, and just walk right through. There we go. I'm back at it again. Our friend over there is also catching up. That was a toughie. That was a tough one to watch, but let's get this party started again. Our shaman is almost here. We're waiting for the boss to patrol over to us. We want to pull it in this direction so that we have more room because of the area negation here. Okay, let's try and get some energy spent so I can reapply my bleeds here, and maybe I should convoke to kill the ads. I don't know. With all of us alive, I think the ads are going to fall over just fine, and I can send all of my damage into whatever. And if I just jump through, I take minimal damage. I send my kick here, probably not necessary. Somebody else did kick it, so it was not necessary, but I can't tell when people are and aren't going to kick. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Maximum distortion goes out. This time the Paladin takes care of it. We have our thing coming up in a second. There we go. There's the Tiger's Fury. We're going to reapply our bleeds. Beautiful. Send a bite to drop our combo points and energy, and then we're going to send our convoke into the jumpstart. Should be able to get the full convoke out into this, which will do a ridiculous amount of damage, as you can see. Beautiful DPS. We're going to roar these to make sure that they go down. And I used a trick that somebody pointed out in a comment earlier, which is I can jump to Big Mama using the thing and not get hit by the silence, which is beautiful. Like, I love that. That was really, really good. I didn't know you could do that. I thought jumping through it would cause more damage than prevent. Looking for the kick, managed to get the kick. I heard the what's called, Bigwig's sound notification go off for it, so I started looking for it. We're gonna switch to the highest HP drone because I'm kind of worried about us not being able to kill them and having to sit there with the kilo blocker, which is not ideal. I'm gonna give people movement speed here to hopefully avoid that and let them get out of that more quickly. It looks like we're ready for the damage amp intermission. Beautiful. To reapply a rip right there, and we have a ravage for this. I'm going to use a bark skin and a self heal, make sure that the healer doesn't have to stress about me and my health. I think we have to go through one more intermission. I don't think we have the damage quite there to finish off the boss. We're going to go in that direction, it looks like. Let's reapply bleeds to these guys. More bleeds, and then reapply that rip on everything. Might have to reapply again because now I have Tiger's Fury. Although 15%, is it worth it? We're going to get out of the way and then jump back. Let's reapply rip, Feral Frenzy into a bite. Let's kick this first, then bite. There we go. That Mecha Drone's very healthy. We're going to switch over to it and make sure we get it into that damage amp portion as quickly as possible to finish off Big Mama. Kick goes out from the Shaman this time around. Let's reapply our bleeds, and we should have the jump start rolling here right as I'm ready to send my cooldowns. 100 million HP on the boss. Let's get another bite in, and then let's send our convoke. Convoke will also help us with healing because I finally macroed the lovely Nature's Vigil into that. Tank is ready to move on. Giving movement speed, tank's grabbing those mobs, making sure my berserk runs out, and now he's going to keyboard turn his way up here. Beautiful. I'm going to grab those soldiers because he's so concerned about grabbing the other two. He could have just grabbed these since he... let's roar that because our tank forgot to or didn't have it available. I'm not sure. Whatever the case may be. We're going to self-heal here in 2 seconds to take care of that heal absorb dot, and let's reapply our bleeds here. Tank is at 10 stacks of the debuff. Healer takes care of it. Beautiful. Big bite procs here now that we have rip up on everything. We're going to send our Feral Frenzy to get cheap combo points and get another bite in. And now I'm not even going to bother with the bleed anymore. I am going to give myself a regrowth. We also got a bit of a heal from the Paladin, and we're good to go. That was a little topsy-turvy there with the first pull of the boss being so so rough with the tank going down. We wasted some CRs. I was trying to CR. I should have recognized that I had aggro. We're not taking the loader bots, or we are taking the loader bots. We're pulling the mobs, then we're turning our back to the mobs. Then we're what are we doing? What are we fighting? 2 mobs? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, and we're gonna fight the mobs until they're about 40% HP. Then we're gonna turn around and run into the next mobs. Watch. 40% HP on one of them. Turns around and runs to the. I fucking knew it, bro. I fucking knew it. I'm so sorry. All right, let me go bear form, big defensive. Okay, roar here while I'm in bear form, and then apply some more bleeds. More bleeds. Always want more bleeds. I'm gonna send my cooldowns because I have no idea when to expect a big pull or not. I'm gonna put a yoink back down. I'm gonna put a knockback down when RPG is close to being done casting because I didn't get my stuff back sooner. Yoink back brings everything back to us so nobody can complain about me lowering their damage. And there we go. We're done with that. Somebody's already doing the thing, so we're gonna go ahead and go this way. I'm assuming the tank wants to land here. If I see him go over there, whatever, man. I don't care. Maybe I shouldn't go first before the tank, but it looks like the tank doesn't seem to mind. We can still go there and skip around this if we need to. I'm going to try and get damage into the scaffolding because we want to drop this guy down so we can start cleaving him. He does not take damage pretty much at all until you drop him off the scaffolding because it gives him like a big DR, like a really significant DR. And DR stands for damage reduction, if you didn't know. Fun facts with Vlad. Pulling this, maybe we're skipping this, so that's where we're not dragging over. Rapid construction comes out, means another scaffold, but I think we might be able to kill him through the scaffold. I can't really reach him as melee, and we're mostly melee, so... Well, not mostly, we're completely melee. Literally everything we have is melee, so that's something. We're going to take care of these. We're going to kick this, walk back over there. We have 2 things to kick over here. I'm scared of crabs getting pulled. I don't like pulling crabs. I'm going to just stand here and get beamed to death. Never mind, I'm not being beamed to death. We had a kick available. 2 crabs coming into the pull. That's going to be fun to heal after they kick the bucket and do the rot damage afterwards, or the dot damage afterwards. But now I have a kick available for these annoying ass surveyors. It looks like the surveyors go down before anything has to happen here, or before I have to kick anything. Scaffolding is back up again. We're going to try and switch to it so we can kill it immediately and bring the architect back down so we can kill it all at the same time. Lots of procs for my tier set here. No idea what that means for me. I'm just like, I think the tier set is such that I can sort of just kind of ignore it. I'm going to go bear form just to be a bit beefier. And now I can stealth here. We're doing the double shredation pull, but nothing else with it. I can respect it. Whatever. We're taking care of all of those. I didn't have my Tiger's Fury here for the Convoke, which is not ideal, but I don't really care at this point. Like, trying to line them up has been a bit of a headache sometimes, but it is still easier than the Shadow Priest. We're kind of spread out with the melee. We're all melee though, and we're not moving enough after the shredation goes out, so I have no idea where to stand. I'm just going to stand on top of the tank. I'm going to give him a nice little square icon so I can actually find him where he is. He's running through a bunch of shredations. I guess we can kind of run through them. It's not that big of a deal, because as long as you don't stand in them too long, they don't actually hurt you. There's 1 shredation. Now we're pulling some extra mobs here. I don't know if that was intentional. I'm standing on top of the tank so that I can move with him as to where we need to move. We're going to kick this thing. I don't want to see that beam start dropping shit on the ground because there's enough shit on the ground from the shredation mobs. And I think with that, we're ready to go. Is he going to drag it into the next group? He wants to drag it into the next group. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice, cool. Let's reapply more dots. I'm going to shadow meld because I'm scared. I'm going to stun with my shadow meld rake and put the rake out. I'm going to let somebody else handle these orbs. There we go. Somebody did handle the orbs. It was the shaman, it looks like, with his knockup. Beautiful. Let's reapply dots. And we're ready to do some actual damage. I don't know, man. These routes are kind of driving me insane. The chain pulling, I don't know. It just feels weird. It's inefficient. But hey, if the tank feels safer that way, maybe it's for the best. You know, he did kind of get his butthole flossed by the first boss with the first tank buster it sent out. So maybe he's just feeling a little flustered from that. So he's trying to not overpull and kill himself. With the damage that these mobs are able to pull off, sometimes it's pretty scary for a tank. I understand. Not as scary as Cinderbrew Meadery, but it can be pretty scary. We're not stacking them together. That's okay. It's only all of us that are melee. We're able to take care. Never mind. We could have taken care of 2 there, but it's not a big deal. Who gets the next charge? It's not me. I'm going to give movement speed to anyone to see if we can take care of some of these. 1 more charge. Tank finds the bomb. I think he missed it. No, he didn't. We're going to roar these, take care of all of them. That's all of the bombs. I'm going to switch to quick fuse. Our healer has the dot, but he's not dispelling himself. I think he bubbled it off. No, he did did something. He's got... I don't know what to tell you. Whatever. Let's apply some bleeds. I'm ready to actually send my cooldowns here. I'm going to go ahead and do so right now, right this instant. I don't want to spend brain cells on that. We're able to take care of 2 of those bombs. That's beautiful. Less work for anyone else that needs to send the charges. Next charge is on our healer. Healer takes care of another one. Tank has the next one. I don't have movement speed to give him. He's not going to be able to take care of it, it looks like, but we do get another explosive gel, this time on the healer again. Going to send a bit of a regrowth into the healer. Healer takes care of it with the dispel. No bombs remaining. We should be safe. Holy shit. Okay. Managing to get some good damage out, but we need to switch to this guy because he's going to kill our tank otherwise with the wallop spam. If the other lady lives for too long, we have movement speed. We give movement speed. We have roars here. We're going to take care of multiple of these bombs. That's a lot of bombs you take care of. I'm going to kick this and blow back the other one. We have a CR available for our red paladin. We got to focus this guy. Got to focus this guy. One more bomb left. Tank positions for it. Beautiful. Tank went cat form. Didn't get stunned, luckily. He's now back in bear form. I was scared for a second there. Trying to focus our damage onto the wallop guy, the Bront guy. Tank seems to be taking care of himself relatively well through the wallops, but it will keep stacking. It'll keep getting worse. But this guy should be dead very, very soon because he just spams wallop until your tank dies or or he dies. Okay, I'm going to take care of the bombs. Somebody's going to take care of this, hopefully. Let's see if it actually gets taken care of. I had a situation where, and I think I mentioned in the previous video as well, because I keep having to play this godforsaken dungeon. But everyone walked up to that thing and they were like, oh, okay, that person's getting it, because there were a bunch of people there. And then, you know, nobody did it. It looks like we're pulling divers. We're pulling 3 divers. No, you're pulling 6 divers, bro. I'm not fighting 3 divers at a time. Let's get this party started now. We've got the C4ium charges coming down. I'm going to try and kick whatever I can. Not much, but it's something. These guys are dying pretty quickly. We keep backpedaling. We're going to eventually backpedal into those mobs behind us, which are the kelp, which are pretty dangerous, so not a great idea to do that. I'm going to go ahead and knock as many of these as I can. We take care of the rest of them. We're about to pull these guys behind us if we're not too careful. There's the Divine Storm, goes ahead and pulls it. You know what? I'm going to let the tank choose how many we pull here. I don't want to pull kelps. Kelps are actually dangerous. It does look like we're pulling more. I do have my cooldowns available. I'm going to apply my bleeds. Let me guess, melee. Yep. I don't know if the tank pulled those or not. I'm assuming not, because they didn't have aggro. The bite did too much damage at once and wiped me out. But that means I'm sending my cooldowns into the boss rather than this. And the boss is rather dangerous. I'm going to hold my cooldowns in such a way that I use them right as the boss is about to do his intermission. Because that way what I can do is I can use my group heal to try and get some healing done, which is nice. That'll help the healer out, because the intermission does quite a bit of damage. The intermission is after you move away from the frontal. There's the AoE damage that goes out and the waves that go out at the same time, and that is pretty fatal, so I'm going to try and help the healer out. Healer's been doing amazing. I have no complaints about the healer. He's been keeping everyone safe very, very well. Healer's now also full mana. Swamp Face is spawning in. I'm going to keep my distance. Back and left, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. But I want to keep my distance here so I don't rip or don't take aggro from being super close. Okay, everyone's stacking and moving left already, which is not ideal. Healer can go off to the side, that's fine. I guess we don't have to move with the healer doing that. Intermission's coming up here. We've used the Ravage. We're going to send our Tiger's Fury. And now we get to use our Big Dam. Our Big Dam comes out, does some healing as well. As you can see, I'm seeing some healing numbers. It's not particularly amazing, but it gets the job done. People are yoinking themselves together into a wave, but we live just fine, and that should be okay. That was a good use of my cooldowns there, I feel like. We moved to the left all together. Now we're in a bit of a precarious spot here. When you're on this little mound, it's harder to see waves that come towards you from over there, anywhere from the water, because of the terrain height difference. So these might be an issue, and those in the back are definitely going to be an issue. Trying to not stand in that, trying to use the defensive here. Self-heal and a bark skin should do the trick. Trying to avoid these waves. They're very dangerous, and we managed to do so. Beautiful. Healer standing off to the side here, trying to bait or just trying to stay in a spot where he can keep DPSing. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and take care of as many of these as I can. Healer goes in, tries to do blinding light to take care of them. We're running a whole bunch. The tank's running a whole bunch for no particular reason whatsoever. We're going to use a big defensive here and use our big heal. My friend there tried to drag me into some waves, but it looks like it worked out. We didn't kick the bucket. All is well. Okay. Very scared here, just trying to stay alive. If I stay alive, I'll do enough damage to make this boss fight actually end. Tank is actively trying to kill me, so it kind of worked out. I don't know which part of stack and left he doesn't understand, but that's perfectly fine. We managed to survive, and that's all that matters. Luckily, the tank doesn't die to the frontal, even if I do, so it all works out in the end. Getting killed by the waves because I just didn't see them in the background. I was trying to check if I had anything that I should use. I had bark skin. I need to adjust my WeakAuras to show me my defensive so that I don't have to think about it. I'm getting a CR. I'm going to decline this because the boss is basically dead. This would be a wasted CR and a half. I'm going to decline it and then release. There was absolutely no reason for me to take that CR. I think we have a little bit of percent missing. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go in and just spawn bubbles in so we don't have to wait for it as long. And then the tank can pull at his leisure when he needs to. We should all stack off to the sides so that we have space from the bubbles coming in. From bubbles is bubbles. I'm going to send our dots out. I have Convoke available, and I think I will use it after this Ravage. Let's send Convoke. Big Convoke. Big Convoke indeed. We've got quite a bit of damage there. Somebody went and stepped into a bubble. It was the healer while trying to take care of these. I'm going to take care of the last two orbs and make sure Bubbles doesn't get any buffs. Was it the healer or was it just our red paladin? Somebody died there. It was one of the paladins. I couldn't quite tell from the glance I had at it. Backwash coming through. We're going to bar skin this one. I wanted to send my Tiger's Fury there, but it didn't register my button press, which is fine. It is off the global cooldown, so I just didn't press my button hard enough or something, but it doesn't matter. Bubbles will be going down here shortly. I went into stealth and then rebuffed, which put me out of stealth, so let's see if I can get a re-stealth here while the tank gathers. It looks like I can. A kick goes out from the shaman. We're gonna go ahead. Nah, I'm not gonna pull for the tank. I should have put down the yoink back, but it doesn't seem to matter because the inspector didn't go far. We're all actually melee. I don't know why I'm thinking that it matters if I put the yoink back down or not. We have two mobs right over there. We're gonna go ahead and pull them. Then I'm going to kick this guy and group that back up. We're gonna put the yoink back down in case the inspector does decide to go a bit further onto someone who might be casting on the side like the paladin or whatever. People get wiped out by the frontal. The lightning bolt's not being kicked. I have a kick available now. We're gonna go ahead and roar here once all of these are dropped down. They are now. Very good. We're gonna kick this thing because I finally have my kick back up. Send Feral Frenzy to try and get some damage in. Healer got hit by the frontal but did not die. Absolute beast mode. Oh boy, okay. Was that my fault or was there their fault? Because I pulled these mobs in, but it made sense to pull them in because we were still fighting. I don't know. You tell me. We would have had to fight two mobs under Lonesome if I hadn't pulled those, or we would have dragged a caster all the way over there, which is not great either. So, I don't know. Let's see how we do here. We've got 11 deaths, adding... Are we serious? Let's stun these. Like I don't know. I could not process what was happening there for a second. And we're gonna kick this. I'm gonna send my Convoke, bro. I don't even know, man. This is absolutely batshit insane. I don't know how we pulled those, but let's say we needed them for percent. Okay, a big knock happens there. Not great. Not great. We're gonna knock this guy back over to those guys. Kick the lightning bolts because they hurt. And yeah. Looking a little bit tight on the timer here. Not too happy with that, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I'm going to stay back and take care of these. Don't worry about it. I got them. Let's give movement speed. Now we're pulling two of these inspectors. Are we pulling them into next or are we fighting? Bro, I can't do two mob pulls. I can't, man. I cannot physically handle two mob pulls. They upset me. I get heartburn. It's horrible. Perfect. Now we're going to drag them in. That works too. Lightning bolt gets interrupted. Let's stack everything up. The inspectors are coming in. Let's get the bleeds out on the inspectors again. Kick's not being interrupted. Like lightning bolt cast not being interrupted. I can get one of them, but I can't get all of them. Need some help from my friends here. Gonna put a yoink back down and a knockback afterwards. I'll keep them grouped up. Our healer just went down. He released. We need kicks. We need more kicks. I guess I see where we're doing two mob pulls because nobody knows what the kick button does. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. It's just our tank that doesn't know what the kick button is because they have 0 kicks overall when some of us have 20 some. Key's kind of brick now. It's whatever. Rose says if I pull more, people die. Yes, because you don't kick anything. You never kick. You haven't kicked a single thing the entire dungeon. That's why people die. Whatever. Moving on. All right, let's send our Convoke and let's actually get some damage out. I don't think we're going to be timing this unless we do some god tier DPS on the boss, but I don't think that's happening with this group. The DPS is there. I'm the lowest DPS because I'm the lowest item level, but I'm kind of worried that the tank is going to die to the tank buster, not just because I'm flaming them most of the run, but because they just kind of have this tendency of not using a defensive when a tank buster's coming in and just flopping over. But we're ready to go into the last boss with 2 minutes remaining and Bloodlust. Lust on pull. We really need a lust on pull. We have percent at least because we overpulled here in here. So we just need a lust on pull. Come on. Let's get that lust going. Get the lust going. Get the lust. Lust. There we go. The lust is up. Then the bark skin here to help with survivability. Let's see if we can kill this fucker in 2 minutes. All right. Healer handles the intermission damage quite well. Let's see if the circles take out any of these bad boys. By these bad boys, I mean puddles. We're running over into the middle of... Shaman, are you good, bro? He tried to take out as many puddles as possible. That is insane. Insane behavior. Oh, I almost ran into that electrified puddle from the shaman trying to run over here. I'll take one of these puddles out because nobody else is going to be here over these puddles. Now we just need to make sure that the tank doesn't actually get stunned. He's about to get stunned. He gets knocked back luckily in such a way. I'm going to use big defensive here so I don't get killed by the Giga Zap. He gets knocked back in such a way to bait his thingy, his little zap orb into the good stuff, into the puddle. So that worked out. I don't know, man. I don't even know how to speak anymore. I'm just so flustered. When I saw the shaman trying to actively run his circle into 3 puddles to reduce the number of puddles we have, it just didn't make any sense to me. I think he thinks he needs to electrify. Circles out of puddles. There we go. That person manages to avoid it. This person manages to avoid it all as well. The shaman didn't get it again, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to give people movement speed. Going to get mine to jump into this immediately. There we go. Tank is in a safe-ish spot. I can jump over. This person needs healing. We're going to give them healing with a little bit of a regrowth. 5 combo point rip goes out. 2 seconds over timer now. Moving away. Gonna go bear form here. Gonna use a heal. Apwa Satana has been procced officially in a video because we had no defensives and we went into bear form. That's when we say Apwa Satana, which is Finnish for help me, god damn it. Which is what I need. If I'm in bear form with no defensives, you know I'm desperate. We have a self-heal available now. Gonna use that. The renewal coming in strong. Single target DPS is not quite there, but that's okay. Didn't expect to time this once I saw us wipe on that pull. Gonna go over into the corner here. Gonna use a bark skin and a self-heal from Frenzied Regen. Just about done with the boss here. He's gonna send out sparks once more. We're gonna make this spark jump into this. Mine is still active. We're gonna try and walk over here. Maybe bait mine into this corner. We're gonna bear roar these orbs away. Everything has been handled. There's one person that still has a spark. Boss is almost dead. Feral Frenzy should kill the boss. One more Ravage and we're out of here. 1 minute overtime because of a questionable route and a reset on the first boss. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna tell them to check out the channel because I'm mostly salty on this run. That was insane. I have a 9 key again and that makes me very, very sad. A very sad Vlad. Guys, again, I apologize. I've had a rough day. I've had multiple bricks. This is now 3 bricks in a single day. I didn't manage to time my first 10. My best Floodgate route run now is an untimed 10, which looks horrible. I'd rather have a timed 6 than an untimed 10, because when you apply to a Floodgate run with an untimed 10, it just looks really, really bad. Now, was that my fault? Maybe. I pushed the tank to go chain the mobs into the next thing. Did I realize that he hadn't kicked a single time during that dungeon at that point? No, I did not. They legitimately didn't kick a single time. They didn't kick once. Not one single time. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being bad. It's whatever though. Sometimes you just don't get things to go the way you want them to go. Hopefully that wasn't too salty for you. I sure as got salty as hell. Can't say I'm a big fan of how salty I got there, but hopefully you guys don't hate me for it. It was just a few too many shitty runs. Who knows, maybe the next series I tank and then you guys can shit on my tanking, but I promise you what won't happen is shitty chain pulls constantly with the mobs at 40% HP. That's not going to happen. But my friends, that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. And if you want to see what happens between these episodes, you can check out the stream. If you can't make it to the stream, you can check out the VODs on this channel. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. By the way, come check out the stream. I'm probably streaming after this video goes live.